guys, it's Dave. Welcome back for another video. Today I just wanted to go over how my portfolio has done over the past month as we're wrapping up the month of November, and just talk about what moves I've made in my portfolio, and also wanted to ask you guys what investments, what trades, if any, you've been making, or are you just kind of hunkering down and getting through these rough times in the market. For me, it was a pretty quiet month. I did make a few trades, but I was also away on vacation for about 2 weeks where I wasn't really paying much attention to the stock market. So definitely quieter than usual, which is not a bad thing. In these negative markets, I do tend to kind of just hunker down and get through it. And I'm much more of an active trader usually in bull markets than bear markets. But I did make a few different trades that I'm pretty happy with, and I'm going to go over shortly. Before I do that, though, if you're interested in joining our Discord where we go over our trades and discuss in more detail, link is down in the description. And of course, if you like this video, please hit subscribe. It'll really help out the channel, and I will appreciate it. With that, let's dive over to looking at my trades this month. So just the other day, I made a few options trades. I guess I could have timed them a little better, but you never get the timing perfectly with these things. And overall, I'm still pretty happy with them. I have a couple positions in my portfolio here, Wynn and Shopify, that I would kind of like to exit, but I've kind of identified the price I would like to exit at, and just focus more on stocks that I know more about and pay more attention to. So both of these companies are at a slight loss in my portfolio, and I basically sold covered calls for around my cost basis. So what will happen is, if in the date specified here, January 20th, 2023, for both options, the price is above the strike price, then they will buy these shares from me at that price, and they're paying me for this option. So if we take a look at it, there were 2 options for Wynn, 10 options for Shopify. Each option represents 100 shares. So you have to make sure you do that math when you're selling options, or you could get yourself in a lot of trouble really quickly. We can see I do have 1,000 shares of Shopify to cover those 10 options, and likewise 200 shares of Wynn. So what did I receive? Well, for Wynn, I received $115. And for the Shopify, which is a slightly larger position, I received $783, and these are both in American. And what will happen is the strike price for Shopify is 48. When I sold this option, it was still down in the 30s, and I really wanted to get out of it at 48. So I didn't want to sell it at the 30s, but at the same time, I kind of was tired of having it sit down in those levels, and I wanted to at least make some money off of it while I'm waiting. And one way to do that is to sell covered calls, and it's also one of the safest ways to trade options. I know you see a lot of people on Wall Street bets buying like really far out of the money calls, things that technically have like maybe a 1% chance of being successful. Now, of course, if it is successful, they can do very well and multiply their money many times over, and that's why it gets so much attention. But it more often than not goes the other way, and people lose all their money. This is kind of the opposite end. It's a safe way to make a little bit of money for yourself, make a little bit of income for yourself, if you're looking to get out of a stock, but not quite at the level it's at right now. So overall, we make about $900 on this. Not too bad, really, for a stock I'm willing to get out of anyway. And we have to wait and see. Now, of course, as soon as I sold these options, what happened? These stocks both shot through the roof. So if I had waited a few days, I could have got some more money, especially this one. If you look at this, I could have made $2,500 on that same option instead of my $700. Them's the breaks when it comes to this sort of thing. We had, kind of surprisingly, at least in my opinion, Jerome Powell being very dovish in his statements, and just Shopify doing very well. So honestly, I'm still happy with this because it's not even at 48 yet, and I really want it to get at 48. If I sell it at 48, I'll be thrilled to get out of this company because I've been sitting in it for so long. And I'm not saying, once again, that Shopify can't do better than 48 going forward. It's just not a stock I'm really an expert in. And back when I bought it, I was buying tons of different stocks. And I'm really just trying to narrow down to stocks that I know really well. So that's one of the reasons why I'm looking to get out of these positions while making some money in the meantime. So what's the worst case scenario in this? Well, let's say Shopify goes up to like $60 plus, I'm losing out on all that upside from 48 to 60. So $12 a share I would lose out on. But for that, I'm getting paid. And I would say the odds of that happening is pretty low, but we'll see what happens. I'll be sure to keep you updated on this. I think it's fun, and a lot of people don't really know that you can use options in a very safe way. A lot of people just think about options and they think about all the crazy YOLO Wall Street bet stuff, and that's not really what this is. So a good $900 of income made there, and if I can sell these companies at a price higher than it is today, so much the better. If not, I'll probably do it again in the future and make even more money. So it's kind of a win-win in my opinion. And then finally, a big milestone on Rocket Lab here. So I was a little bit short of that 10,000 share mark that I've wanted to hit for quite a long time now. And we can see I finally did hit that number on the dot. So a couple days ago, Rocket Lab was trading around 401. I was about 370 shares short of what I wanted. And, I did think it was probably going to go lower, but I just said, it's a good price. Why not just buy now? So that's what I did. I got myself up to the number of shares that I set as my target, and now I'm pretty happy with the total number of shares. Important to set a target with these companies. Some people like to just go all in on a stock they really believe in, and I can really respect that. But some of us out there, have other responsibilities, and we want to play it safe. We want to diversify a little bit, or at least own companies which are already profitable. So I'm not going to go 100% all in on Rocket Lab. I still believe in it a lot, and I think it has tremendous potential to 5x plus. That's why I'm putting so much money into it. But this was kind of the target I originally set. So we can see I am down a little bit overall, and obviously I could have gotten a better cost basis if I timed these sales a little better, these purchases a little better. That's how it goes with investing, though. Ultimately, I still think it's a great price and it should do well in the future. So whether it's, average cost of $4.50 or $4, if I think it's going to be, $30 plus one day, it's all good. And then just talking about the overall portfolio, this is kind of my more main portfolio that's more volatile. Of course, it does have a bunch of index funds excluded because I have a separate retirement account, which has a lot more safer stuff. But this is my main account, and we're down 8% for the month, which is pretty rough. It's actually significantly underperforming the overall markets, and that's mostly due to Tesla, which is a large position for me and has had a very bad month. A lot of this comes down to really just the Elon Musk Twitter acquisition, which I can understand, but is pretty disappointing to me in a lot of ways because it doesn't really affect Tesla itself all that much. The company is still executing as well as it was before. Sure, Elon sold some shares. Sure, he might sell some more shares. To me, these are short-term things. The company, I think, will have a great Q4. I'm really looking forward to seeing those numbers. And still believe in them, so I'm not selling, but it has been a rough month. Let me know down in the comments, how's your month been? I'm sure you probably outperformed me. So if you did, congratulations on that. Are you up on the month? Interested to hear for sure. And then we just had some, interesting news in the markets. As I said, Powell kind of had a bit of a dovish tone, said smaller interest hikes could start maybe soon. So obviously the market got very excited by this, jumped quite a lot. It was kind of nice, really, because it's been a bit of a rough period. And then, of course, Jim Cramer said that it's a green light to stay in stocks, which should give you some flashing warning signs because, I don't know, the inverse Cramer thing seems to be real for some reason or another, which I always find pretty funny. So then, of course, the next day, what happens? Job numbers come in hotter than expected. Funny, a bit of a bizarro world we're living in here where lots of new jobs is bad, but that's because it means the Fed may likely raise rates more than you were thinking due to inflation. So high wages, high jobs growth is bad in this day and age. Go figure. Just due to how that will affect interest rates and the Fed's decision making going forward. So it's been a pretty crazy week. Pretty happy with the trades I made. Obviously, you don't like to be down 8%, but I think it's okay, a short-term move. And other than that, really just kind of holding on for the ride through this rough market that we've been in this year. And that's it for the month. I'm excited to see the Q4 numbers when we finish up December and really finish off the year strong. Obviously, once December ends, we'll be starting up our investing competition Q4 numbers, but even bigger, the full year 2022 numbers. So if you're interested in signing up for our investing competition, link is down in the description below for our Discord. And really excited to see who comes out on top in that competition. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please hit subscribe down below if you haven't already. Congrats on making it to the weekend. I hope you've had a great week and will have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.